All right, welcome back to the Lemming Report presented by American Family Insurance. It is a new year, and that means a new top 10. Now, Tom has a massive list of prospects at every position, but for the first show of September, we are taking a look at Tom's top 10 overall, brought to you by the U.S. Army. And we start at number 10 with defensive tackle Darren Payne out of Shades Valley High School in Alabama. And Tom, at 328 pounds, what? He is bringing some serious pain right here.
He sure is. He's the #1 run stuffer in the country. Benches 430 pounds. He's a one-gap dominator. This guy can really get the job done as a defensive tackle. You see him here making some headway at rushing a passer, but the fact is he dominates the interior when it comes to run stuff, and he takes up 2-3 blockers at a time, and a premier ball player and a guy that I think could be an instant impact player as a freshman.
All right, both Alabama schools on his list there, and everyone can see the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, the schools that are on the short list for all these guys. Next up at number 9, it's CeCe Jefferson. He broke onto the scene as a freshman 3 years ago with 5 sacks in his first game against a very talented Tristan Trinity team, Tom. Something tells me, though, that we're going to be seeing him on our freshman tracker next year when he's in college. How about this guy?
You know, without a doubt, he doesn't have great size at 6'3", 245, but he's got the instincts. He's got the burst off the ball. When I went up to northern Florida to see him, I was really impressed. Super long arms, quick feet, quick hands, and just tremendous instincts as a pass rusher.
All right, now at number 8, as we unveil the next name here, we have another guy whose last name is Jefferson, Malik Jefferson, an outside linebacker from Poteet High School in Texas. Great speed for an outside linebacker as well, running a 4.47. Bama's on everybody's list, it seems, by the way.
You know what? That's legit speed, too. He runs a 10-800 meters. You can't teach that kind of speed, the athletic ability, his quickness to the ball. He's got great instincts. He's a team leader. Coaches have nothing but high praise for him. And you see right here, this guy can get to the ball in a hurry. He just gets great leverage, and he knows how to play off blocks and find the ball carrier. He is the premier linebacker in the country.
All right, let's stay on defense for number 7. We have a cornerback here, Iman Marshall, slotted at 7. And when you talk about a lockdown corner, shutting down an entire side of the field, here's the stat we need to know. Last year did not allow a single reception during league play. That's an island, all right.
I don't know if I've ever seen that when you play against great competition like Los Angeles. Long Beach probably does in the Los Angeles area. And you know what? He's almost 6'2". He's got the length, the long arms, the quick feet, and the confidence. He was the Long Beach Player of the Year last year, and for good reason. Not allowing a pass defender in his own area, to me, is unbelievable.
Now at number 6, and we get to some offense. And a running back at that. Of course, Leonard Fournette, the big name last year. Jaquez Patrick from Timber Creek, Florida. And he's a load to bring down at 6'1", 230. You've compared him to Marshawn Lynch, who was doing his damage on Thursday night. Does he also have a beast mode, Tom?
Yeah, he does. And, you know, he's got that same physical running style that Marshawn Lynch has. And he's a very productive back. For the past 2 years playing in the Orlando area, he's rushed for over 2,000 yards each year. This guy is unstoppable. The opposition knows they've got to stop him. They still haven't done it. 6'1", 230, this guy is a load to bring down, and that's why he reminds me of Marshawn Lynch. The first tackler never gets to him. He always seems to bounce off a couple of guys and get that extra yardage after contact.
All right, we are halfway through the list, and coming in at number 5, a name that we've heard a while back now, St. Bonaventure's Ricky Town, their quarterback, threw for over 3,000 yards as a junior, and he's going to join a long line of elite high school signal callers to take his talents to USC. He's already verbally committed. Tom, how good is he?
You know, he's fantastic. He's a pure drop-back quarterback. He's got decent feet, but he's got a great release. He's been a guy that plays a great competition at St. Bonaventure. Obviously, the LA area is loaded with ball players, but he's one of the few pro-style quarterbacks that's still out there. Most of the guys are running the spread, and USC saw him, fell in love with him right away. If you remember, he committed early to Alabama. And then when Lane Kiffin went to Alabama, he switched from Alabama to USC. So the Trojans got themselves a good one.
So you're saying he doesn't want to play for Lane Kiffin. All right, next at number 4.
I hinted that, yes.
Yeah, we go to Byron Cowart from Armwood, Florida. You've said he is the best all-around defensive end in the country. You've compared him to another athletic pass rusher in DeMarcus Ware. How about Brian Cowart, who has a lot of SEC teams coming after him?
Wait till you see this guy in person. He already looks like an NFL player. He's a big, muscular kid. He overpowers high school linemen, but he's also got the jets, the quickness, the body control, and the balance, and the burst to get to the quarterback. He had 13 sacks last year. First team All-State in Florida, and when you're first team All-State in Florida, it means you're doing something, particularly as a junior, and Byron Cowart's got all the tools to become an impact player.
All right, we'll see if the Gators can get a chomp on him. All right, our number 3 prospect is Kevin Tolliver II, the top-ranked corner, and he's committed to LSU, and so fittingly you've compared him to former Tiger Patrick Peterson. That is seriously high billing there, Tom.
Well, you know what? I saw Pat Peterson come out of high school, and I think Kevin's got the same kind of ability. In fact, when I was at the high school watching film, I was just about to leave. Nick Saban and Kirby Smart were walking in, and right away I said, "What are you guys doing here?" And he says, "They've got a better secondary than we do at Alabama," and particularly, I'm sure they're referring to Kevin Tolliver with the length, the long arms, almost 6'2", like a Ben Marshall. This guy's got all the tools, and he's got the jets, too, to top things up. And the big thing with Kevin is the confidence. This guy's got confidence to go up against the best receivers in the country. He'll do that at LSU.
And he's following the Gulf Shores all the way to Baton Rouge. All right, our number 2 guy and top defensive player is a defensive tackle. Trenton Thompson says he's going to stay close to home, recently committing to Mark Richt's Bulldogs, and you've compared him to some big names, Warren Sapp and Ndamukong Suh. High praise, Tom.
You know, he's a tall Warren Sapp. He's about the same size Ndamukong was coming out of Portland, Oregon, and he's got that jets, he's got that meanness, aggressiveness. He's a kind of a country boy when you see him down in South Georgia, but once you watch him on the field, he has a take-no-prisoners attitude, and unlike Darren Payne, he's got the jets to get to the quarterback and cause damage, not only as a run stuffer, but as a pure pass rusher. He's a 2-gap defensive tackle with unlimited ability.
All right, here comes the big moment, Tom. Finally, at number 1, we have Josh Rosen, the St. John Bosco quarterback out of California, and fittingly the first player listed in your magazine. I don't know if this is a magazine. I think this is a book. That's a book. As a junior, threw for 3,200 yards, 47 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions. Staying local, he's saying UCLA.
Well, you know what? UCLA got themselves the number 1 player in the country. And the reason I had a pick between him and Trenton Thompson, fielder ball players, but he threw for over 3,000 yards, playing against the best competition in the country, led his team to a national championship last year, threw only 8 interceptions, but all those passes. He's a leader on the field. He's 6'4", 210. He's got a great arm. Kind of reminds me of a John Elway type quarterback, but I compared him to Matt Stafford because he's playing right now, and he's got that same kind of arm strength.
All right, Tom, we'll see how the fall pans out for these guys, and of course, signing day, or whatever they're going to be signing as time goes on, will make all these things official.